Welcome to Listertainment. Hey guys, today we'll be taking a look at some fighters who became champions. They got the belt, they got to the pinnacle of their combat sport, but unfortunately, they did it in very embarrassing ways. Sometimes it wasn't their fault, but regardless, their championship runs were highly questioned. Let's get started. Aljamain Sterling became the first fighter in the UFC to win a championship belt via disqualification. Petr Yan intentionally kneed Sterling right on the head, and rightfully was disqualified after Sterling couldn't continue. The embarrassing part for many people is that they believe Sterling to have flopped after the knee and decided that he couldn't continue fighting just so he could get the belt. They believe that he was faking being severely hurt because he was losing the fight. Yan was starting to take over the fight, and Sterling believed he was down on the scorecards, but it might still be up for grabs. The actual scorecards were split. Sterling was up 29-28 on one, but down on the other two 29-28, and he was losing this round. The fight was pretty much Yan's to lose, and he did it in the dumbest way possible. Sterling did a great thing by taking off the belt right after receiving it and leaving it in the ring. He looked distraught to have won in that fashion, but his major mistake came later when he started celebrating with the belt on social media. People would have certainly respected him way more if he never showed pride in being a champion in this fashion. But then he started talking trash about Yan and then pulling out of the rematch due to injuries, so his win is deemed as an embarrassing way to get the belt. They'll fight again soon, and I believe that Yan will get his belt back. Charles Martin became the legit heavyweight champion only once in his entire career, and it came against Vyacheslav Glasgow. Tyson Fury was the IBF champ after beating Klitschko and was told that he had to fight Glasgow on his next fight. He refused in order to fight Klitschko in a rematch, thus the IBF stripped him and ordered a fight between Martin and Glasgow. Winning the title by not beating the champ is already a little embarrassing, but this isn't the fighter's fault. If the fight can't happen for whatever reason, they have to continue on. Martin and Glasgow faced each other, and Glasgow, the smaller man, was the heavy favorite to win the fight. But unfortunately for him, he went down in the third round. You might be thinking, hey, he got knocked out. Why is this embarrassing for Martin to win this way? Well, actually, Glasgow went down because of a horrific knee injury as he was dodging a punch.
Martin, with Glasgow, let's slip over his foot. You don't want him to get that confidence, and this fight started slow.
He tried to continue, but fell again, and that's when he had to pull out. He tore his ACL, and well, it's pretty hard to continue fighting with that kind of injury. Prince Martin didn't even celebrate after Glasgow pulled out. His family was going crazy since he just became the champion, but he was just in the corner looking at his coach, who was congratulating him. Well, he just said, "This is so weird." It's not Martin's fault, but during the interview, he started to embarrass himself by saying that it was his massive power that caused the injury. Eventually, when they showed him the replay, he had to backtrack and the crowd started to boo him, since they knew that he kind of looked like a fool for taking credit and earning the belt in a way that people can't actually respect. Not his fault, but still embarrassing. If you're enjoying this video, please punch the crap out of the like button. It really helps me out. And also make sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. Juan Martin Kogi was a legitimate champion who defended his title 6 times in the light welterweight division, but he lost it to the great Frankie Randall in 1994 in a decision loss. He came back again, beating other guys to get a chance to fight for his belt once again, and he did it in 1996 against Randall once again. In their third round, their feet got tangled up and Randall went down.
Kogi knocks down Randall!
During this whole process, Kogi landed a glancing shot, and because of that, the referee counted the fall as a knockdown. Randall was in complete disbelief since it was pretty clear that he had lost his footing and was already going down. In the 5th round, they clashed heads accidentally and Kogi started to do some shenanigans. Randall felt the pain, but Kogi went running to his corner and threw himself at it and put an Oscar-winning performance, acting like he was passing out because of that hit. Everybody believed that he had the lead because of that knockdown that shouldn't have been counted, so people started to boo him in the arena. The fight was stopped and it went to the scorecards, where Kogi won the title once again. The fight doctor later said that Kogi was completely coherent, and when he was taken to the hospital, he was given a clean bill of health. Nothing about a head injury or anything.
Contrólate, boss!
The WBA immediately ordered a rematch due to the controversy, and guess what happened? Randall knocked him down in the 2nd and claimed the title back via unanimous decision. Kogi seemed to know that he couldn't beat Randall, so he took a dive to win the title in a terrible and sad fashion. Kogi never won the title again, although he did compete for it once more, but lost. Devin Haney is the current WBC light heavyweight champion, but the way he got the belt was via email, hence why he's known as the email world champion. Haney beat Zaur Abdullayev to become the interim champion and got a shot at Vasily Lomachenko, but the fight never happened. Lomachenko instead was elevated to franchise champion, and through an email, the WBC promoted Haney to become the legit champion. In other words, he never beat the champion to become the champion. The very least they could have done is have another fight between Haney and another boxer in order to get the vacated belt. But nope, they just gave it to him. He has defended the title 4 times, which is impressive, and against pretty good fighters like Gamboa, Linares, and Diaz. He lost the belt after not being able to defend it against Fortuna after an injury took him out. Thus, a fight between Josh Campbell and Fortuna was set up for the belt, but due to the World Pandy, this didn't take place, and they again reinstated Haney as the champion through an email once again. Again, this is not Haney's fault. It's the crazy politics of the boxing organizations that mess everything up, but to be labeled the email champ is pretty embarrassing. Andre Dirrell and Jose Uzcategui were fighting for the IBF super middleweight title, and during this fight, Uzcategui had been warned against punching after the bell since he did it in the second round. Later on in the fight, Uzcategui again punched after the bell in the 8th round.
It was all about Dirrell's jab. He finds himself along the...
He was in the middle of a 3-punch combination, so it would be extremely hard to pull back if the bell were to ring in the middle of it. He was unable to hold back and landed a left hook that knocked out Dirrell. Uzcategui actually seemed like he was trying to pull back since the 3rd punch was much slower than the other 2 punches, but the damage was done. The referee gave Dirrell some time and asked if he was okay. Dirrell nodded yes, but he still asked a doctor to come in. And while the doctor was still performing the examination, he was right in the middle, the referee called for a disqualification, deeming the punch to be intentional. He could have called for an accidental foul and gone to the scorecards, where Uzcategui would have won, but he went this way, which unfortunately allowed Dirrell to get the belt in a shameful manner. Uzcategui's corner later argued that Dirrell's corner was yelling at him to stay down, and also that the referee lost control of the fight, which the commission acknowledged and ordered an immediate rematch. Of course, Uzcategui was winning the first fight, so he did the same in the second, actually getting the TKO victory in the same round where he got disqualified, the 8th round.
It's over. The interim IBF super...
It also kind of looked like Dirrell was actually hurt by the first punch in the combination in the first fight, but regardless, he became the interim champion for the only time in his career. Luis Santana was a Dominican boxer who became champion only once in his career, and he defended the title only once also. Did he legitimately win the title and defend it without any embarrassing controversies? Well, of course he didn't. He won and defended the title by winning both fights via disqualification of the well-known dirty fighter Terry Norris. Norris was the champion in their 1994 initial fight, where he started winning, but then got knocked down once, and then headbutted in the 4th round, getting a point deduction. In the 5th round, he blatantly hit Santana in the back of the head, as his back was completely turned. Santana dropped like a sack of potatoes and stayed down until he got the disqualification. Norris said that Santana was faking it because he had his eyes open and would only close them when the referee approached. It seemed legit because he was taken on a stretcher, and they said that he had a concussion, but the fight did take place in Mexico, and the hands can be greased pretty easily to get a fake diagnosis. During the rematch, Norris once again went back to his dirty roots and punched Santana after the bell in the 3rd round. He was winning the fight, having knocked down Santana twice already, but he claimed that he never heard the bell. It's hard to hear it in the video, and the ref isn't making it clear that the round is over, but the punch was so well beyond the bell that it just looks really bad. He was disqualified again, and Santana got another stretcher ride to the hospital. In the final fight, Norris decided not to let the fight go on so long, so he won't do something stupid and drop Santana in the 1st round and hurt him bad. In the 2nd round, he went killer instinct, putting down Santana 3 times and getting the TKO victory. All these hits were blatant, so it's hard to dismiss them, but Santana kind of got the title in a shameful way and defended it in the same way. What do you guys think? Do you think any of these title wins are embarrassing? It's hard to judge a fighter when they get hit illegally, but we want them to be warriors and die on their shields, so we will always think that it's shameful to not win or lose in a very clear fashion. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.